Oh, wait, there we go. Hey everyone, it's Debbie Morrow here, founder of Real Estate Agent Referral Network and Marketing Tips. And I'm super excited today to bring on and introduce to anyone that doesn't know him, Ray Sjolseth, who is the co-author of The Startup Agent, which is a book that he wrote with Walter Key to really take agents who are just starting out in the industry and help them build a business that is sustainable. We all know that I think the failure rate within the first 2 years for realtors is something like 87%. And so they are trying to stop that, to make that failure rate non-existent or at least minimize it. And today we're going to talk about chapter 3 in their book, which is all about branding for the real estate agent. So, Ray, I should tell people, I guess, that you've been involved in real estate for over 30 years now, right? Um,
Yeah.
so tell people a little bit about you, and then please talk to us about chapter 3.
Okay. Hi, guys. Debbie, thanks for having me. Like, you've built an amazing group, and I'm very grateful to be part of it. Everybody, my name is Raymond Sjolseth. I am the co-author of The Startup Agent and the host of the Agent podcast. I've been in real estate for 30 years, but up until recently, I was an investor. I've owned a bunch of different properties in a bunch of different states, been in and out of syndications, joint ventures, partnerships, and a bunch more. Um, when COVID hit, my wife and I had to pivot. We have 5 kids, and one of our kids is special needs, and we ended up at home, locked down, no special needs services, no school. And what I used to do primarily was product development. I would create, design, engineer, and manufacture products for B2B and B2C. And what's funny is I've had over 45 businesses, 40 have failed, 5 have done well, 2 have had exits. And it's all been funded by real estate at the end of the day. So as we were navigating the pandemic and making changes, I did what I call triple down on real estate. My wife and I got our licenses. We are building a team here in Chicago. And I have our podcast, the Agent Podcast, and I 10x'd our long-term investment goals. And I've always been a huge proponent of marketing and branding. Side note, I also own a marketing agency, and we just were in the top 100 out of 15,000 in the nation. So that's super exciting for us. We work with a handful of clients a year doing bigger type stuff for small to medium businesses. And that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. And the line that we open the book with is that if I can't see you, I can't find you. And that is so prevalent in the real estate business. There's a saying that a lot of people out there say, well, don't be a secret agent. And there's a lot of truth to that, as cliche and funny as that sounds sometimes, there really is a lot of truth to that. And one of the quotes that I put in the first of the book that I love is, branding is about so much more than what people see. It's how you make them feel. And there's so much truth to that, right? Like, you can think about that going into your local Starbucks. You can think about that walking into a car dealership where nobody wants to deal with a salesperson at a car dealership, or sometimes even a cell phone store. And it really is based upon how you make that person feel and what you're bringing to the table. And when people talk about, oh, you need to be you and you need to be authentic, I think there's this miscommunication with what that actually means. And the majority of people have a presence about them. You can call it an energy, you can call it a being, whatever you want. And when you're bringing that to the table, that's what people are responding to. And that, in essence, is your brand. Yes, you can have a logo. Yes, you can have colors. But your personality and who you are as a human being, when getting into a new relationship with a prospect or a client or a vendor, that is your brand. There's another saying that goes something to the effect of, I'm sure I'll screw it up, but something to the effect of, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room, right? So if you think about how you leave people and the value you give them and how you make them feel, that's the goal with branding. Is, are you leaving that person 1% better, 5% happier, 10% more joyful? What is it that you're bringing to that relationship that's going to make a difference in their life and make you memorable? That is first and foremost the number one rule in branding, in my opinion. How you leave them is how they're going to remember you. Debbie, what do you think?
I completely agree. I mean, we're back to Maya Angelou. People will forget what you say, they'll forget what you do, but they'll always remember how you make them feel.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So, with that being said, what we get into in this chapter is we talk about, I'll read you a little bit of it here. Remember, you're a business owner. It's time to act like one. That's one of our opening lines, right? So your brokerage is not your brand. Your broker is not your brand. You are your brand. And anything you touch, how you show up, the way you engage with people, the conversations you have, the value that you bring them, to the tone of, do you show up with a cup of coffee? Do you show up with a closing gift? Do you show up with a buyer's gift? All these different things become your brand. And so many people are in such a hurry to get the transaction A, open, B, closed, that they forget about the relationship that's in the middle. And I get a lot of us are under duress, switching careers, new agents, trying to generate revenue ASAP. But if you put people first and build your brand with those people, your business will grow. It will come. It will happen. Your brand should be you, designed to be engaging and bringing value to anybody you touch. And that's the way I look at it, right? That's what I'm hoping to do today. I'm hoping somebody gets one nugget, walks away with one thing that they go, okay, cool. Ray taught me this, or Debbie taught me this. And that's what I want for my brand. Is part of me just, I want to be a teacher and I want to make an impact to help people move their business just one step forward. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be one step forward. So in the book, The Startup Agent, we go through and we talk about the branding map. And that talks about your logo, your branding palette, your color scheme, how that affects your collateral materials, your website, your business card. And part of branding is being consistent. And I'm going to go back to personality, how you're showing up. If you are consistently showing up in a bad mood, your brand will shortly become, Susie's in a bad mood all the time. I wonder what's going on with her life. But if you are showing up joyful, happy, bringing value, over time, that's what people will start to remember. They're not going to remember your logo. They're not going to remember your colors. They may compliment you on it. Oh, I love your logo, or I love that pink and black, color scheme that you used. But it's about how you make them feel. That is number one. If you can make them feel valued and heard, that's going to be the game changer for branding.
Ray, I just want to add one thing. Just recently at the Traffic and Conversion Summit, they actually said that the number of impressions for people to remember a logo or a brand, and I think this goes to what you're saying about they're not going to remember the color or the logo or whatever. It went up from what we had previously thought, 12 to 15 impressions, to now it's something like 1,500 impressions, just because of how quickly it goes through. And the way to be known is to be memorable, not making them feel some way that will remember you, as opposed to your logo or your colors or what have you.
Yeah, I mean, the rate at which we're consuming content is absolutely insane. You look at just like TikTok alone. If I look at myself or my wife or my kids, and it's just swipe, 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 right? Uninterested. It's literally milliseconds that we're swiping between screens. And every time we see different colors, different logo, different content. So, what is that scroll stopper? That becomes the question. If we want to talk about social media and branding, that is the question. What is the scroll stopper? it's not going to be your logo. It's going to be a hook or a headline or whatever opening to the video that you have up there or the opening image, right? So leading with you and leading with authenticity and value. If you are a local agent in a smaller community, what is it in that community that you can highlight, talk about, local business that you can highlight? So something that my wife and I are doing is we are door knocking local businesses, telling them we're real estate agents and we would like to highlight their business in our business of the week. And my goal is to get it to a business of the day, right? So if I can get it to business of the day and there's 20 days in a month, that's 20 businesses that I'm highlighting. And if I'm tagging them on social media, all the other people that are following them are seeing me and our business and our brand, right? So if I spend 5 hours a week doing that, that is a lot of lead generation packed into one small time when I'm also doing good and promoting a business while meeting new people, while leveraging their audience, all for giving them a shout out. And then I'm following it up with a Google review.
Excellent. I love, 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 love what you just said. I think that that is how Oprah became Oprah
Yeah,
by interviewing. She doesn't have anything that she sells. I mean, magazine now, but she doesn't
sure.
have anything that she sells. But Oprah became Oprah by interviewing other people and growing her audience to their audience. Their followers became her followers, and she was exposed to so many more people. And like, she's one of the most powerful women in the world, and she hasn't even had her own TV show for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, love it.
But she's sharing that message, right? Like she's giving so many other people a voice that wouldn't do that work for themselves or may not have the courage, thus the confidence to do it for themselves. So if I can help give a business that is struggling for marketing, as most small businesses are, as most agents are, and give them a voice by doing a little bit of work on my end, it's a win for everybody, and
Agreed.
that helps me build my community so that it's tighter, so that I'm delivering value, so that my brand is recognized as, hey, Ray's doing these things and giving me a shout out, or I got this new client because Ray knew somebody on his Facebook page or his Instagram page or whatever the case may be.
One of the things that I work with a lot of realtors in helping them, with branding and being known. And one of the things that I like to talk to them about or help them with is working with local businesses where they send out to their farm area a postcard that has an offer from a business that has an expiration date. Maybe it's a buy one get one free at a restaurant, or maybe it's a massage, whatever. I mean, it can be any kind of business that has some kind of offer to give to your clients, your farming area, your prospects. And it does two things. One, it keeps you top of mind with all of your prospects, your clients, but it brings so much exposure to that business that they come in with a postcard that says, I got this buy one get one free, and they turn it into them. And then I have the agent go back and pick up those redeemed offers, and the business owners are so excited about all the new business that they got over that month where they were promoting their business, that they're the only realtor that business is ever going to think about. And, it's just a win-win-win. Everyone wins in that situation, and that's the type of business that I love.
I love it. 100%. We are doing that same strategy with our farm area of 3,000 homes. We did a direct mail piece to them. We followed it up with a handwritten card that had a discount code, and it had my wife's name, Lauren 10, on the discount code. So that also offers so much value to you as an agent, because now you are seen as being tied to this business where they actually printed a card with my wife's name and the discount code on it. Like, who does that? Nobody's doing that. So now you are a local agent, community based, supporting a local business and bringing something of value because they're getting 10 or 20% off whatever order they're going to get at this local smoothie shop. You know,
Exactly.
you're right. It's win, win, win for everybody. There's no downfall. And here's the thing, guys, nobody's doing this work. If you are an agent in your community, I can almost 99% guarantee you most people are not doing this work. And that's going to be the differentiator. So when you show up and offer you as value because you're willing to do different things than other agents are doing or not doing at all, that's part of branding, guys. That is a key differentiator when you show up.
Exactly. Love it.
Um, So yeah, like we kind of have a multi-step method here. One is defining your brand, which it starts with defining yourself as an exercise in the book. And there's questions like I am ... hire me because ... my ideal client is ... I'm a real estate agent because ... Then it gets into exercise 2. My clients choose me because I, as your agent, I will ABC. I'm a successful realtor because ABC. My 3 priorities as your agent are ABC. And, going through these exercises, they help you kind of build what I call a value ladder of what you're bringing to the table and how you are different compared to other agents. There are other agents within our farm area that do way more business than us. But my goal is really simple. I want 15% of the market share in this one zip code that I'm farming. And that for us is like $20 million in transactions. And the average home value is $650,000. And that's only one lead gen strategy in one zip code. We have 4 other ones running in parallel, but I know that brand that I want to deliver consistently to any of my farm areas or through my lead gen strategies and tactics is the same. That's actually, so recently I started a second podcast called the Chicago Podcast. And the goal of that podcast is to bring nothing but value to business owners, right? So now I can walk into these businesses and have multiple conversations like, hey, Eddie, how long have you owned this Jimmy John's franchise with 3 stores? Cool, right? I want to promote your business, tag you. And by the way, will you join me on my podcast? I want to talk about entrepreneurship and what it was like for you. How did you navigate a pandemic? How are you recovering? Has supply chain issues affected your business? Those types of things all engage the community. And again, it's work, but you have to choose the work that you're going to do for lead gen. So it might as well be something that you enjoy while you can also build your brand, right? Like work smart, not hard. That's what branding is about, is leveraging you and your strengths and what value you're bringing to the table to deliver results for your prospects and your clients. The one of the last things is we have this Venn diagram in the book. I don't think you'll really be able to see it here, but basically it's what you do and say versus overlapping how people feel is your brand, right? And that becomes your goal of establishing your brand more than anything. Like, what voice are you showing up with? What voice are you bringing to social media that people are responding to? What voice are you sharing during a listing appointment or a buyer's meeting that people are buying into? More than your logo, more than graphics, more than your social media posts themselves, with whatever template that you're using, your brand is your voice and it's you. And I can't reinforce that enough because a lot of people think that there's a magic fix, right? I'm just going to go to Canva, personalize a bunch of templates, and boom, my social media is done for the month. And that's fine. You can do what you have to be seen and get out there. And your brand should be consistent with look, feel. But that voice inside you that's coming out when you're actually interacting with people, that is the most important thing for you to push forward. And, that's what I would love to leave the audience with is whatever's inside here, have the courage to put it out there, and that will build your confidence and that will build your brand more than any other post that you'll make.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Ray, so much for your time this morning and sharing some insider secrets in your book. I will make sure, actually, Ray, when we're done with this Facebook Live, will you put the link to where they can get the book on Amazon? um, so that anyone who hasn't already got it and wants to read all about from everything that you said this morning, they want to read the rest of the book, so that they can go grab it. I know it's also pinned up at the top of our group
Oh,
up
okay.
there.
Awesome.
So however, I just want to make sure that people can find it and go get it, because I think there's a ton of value there, and not just for new agents. I know that that's what it was designed for, but I think there's a lot of value that people who have been in the industry for a while can get out of it as well.
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
it's some fresh ideas for them.
yeah, it was written from 30 years of failed businesses ultimately. And the framework of it is designed for really any business owner.
And the
Debbie,
other thing that I want to say, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. The last thing I want to say is that the framework that your group provides through Mailbox Power, if you can identify your voice and translate it into all of those tools, you're unstoppable from a marketing standpoint. And that's one of the reasons that I'm here with you is I think what that has the ability to offer at scale is a game changer.
Thank you. Yeah. So, as you guys know, one of the things that I do in the group is I find and vet resources for you that I think work really well. And so, what Ray's talking about is Mailbox Power. It is the service that I recommend. They do automation at scale amazingly. They can personalize those postcards that you're sending out. This is one that was sent to me, and on the front of the postcard it says "Hello, Morrow family." Now this was sent to thousands of people, but it has my last name on it because it's personalized to me. And so I think personalizing mail is a big deal. And that's one of those things that you can use with that offer and building businesses up. So yeah, so Mailbox Power is the direct mail marketing system that I recommend and I love because it's affordable, it's automation, it's scalable. So I will also drop a link for that down there so that you guys can check that out. But yeah, so again, thank you, Ray, so much for spending your time with us
Thank
this
you.
morning and sharing some insider secrets from the book. Um, Ray also has, when you purchase this book, oh, I know what I was going to tell you. It's not going to take you a ton of time to read, because it's not huge, right? I mean,
No,
this is
it's
well thought
concise.
out, exactly, well thought out, precise, um, uh, things that you can act on and make happen right away. And on top of that, they have a resource guide um, that helps you out with all those other tools and things that you need. So,
Yeah, and
plug for
on
the
that
resource guide.
note, Debbie, the resource guide, you guys, is unbelievable. It is packed with free coaching, 2 free courses, one for Google My Business, one is a new agent bootcamp that gives you step by step how to be seen and get found in the first 30 days. Special links to the podcast, scripts, downloadable templates, a annual budget tracker, a annual goal tracker, and so much more. Like, you are not just getting a book, you are getting a system with a whole bunch more tools to come.
Excellent. Yeah. So go get the book if you haven't gotten it already. It's very well priced and will explode your business if you follow the steps within it. So again, thanks so much, Ray. And
Thank you,
I
Debbie.
look forward to having you on again. And
Yep.
Walt, you provide so much value to our group. So I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. So